I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus.
Hello, welcome to my channel Judge All Nation. In this video, Christian Prince will make understanding and education about Islam to all Muslims. Also, Christian Prince educates Muslims that in the Lord Jesus there is truth and no other. Now let's take a look and see what Christian Prince will tell you by arguing with Muslims. Enjoy watching this video and God bless you.
Did Muhammad really have sex slaves though? Because it doesn't mention that in the Quran.
Absolutely.
So,
No, it's mentioned in the Quran. What are you talking about? It says in the Quran, it's made lawful for you, your wives and your slaves.
I don't remember reading that. And I've read the Quran in English.
No problem. You are talking to Christian Prince.
It took me a while to understand what right hand possesses means, to be honest. So,
Chapter 33, verse number 50, is about what is lawful for your prophet to have sex with. Do you see it says, and whom your captive slave, whom you are right hand possess?
yeah.
Whom Allah given to you? So all those women are lawful for Muhammad to have sex with. Nobody left actually in the town.
But
Everyone.
does that just because it's lawful for him, does it mean that he actually had them, or he just
No,
he could have?
there is tons of evidence. Muhammad, he have a slave, her name as an example. If you go to chapter of At-Tahrim, and you read verse number 1, you will see it says there that Muhammad, he forbid himself from something. The verse doesn't say, but in fact it was about his wives. They found him having sex with one of his slaves. Her name is Mary the Copt. She was given to him as a gift from Egypt. So he told his wife to go and visit her father. When she went there, she asked her father if he needed her. He said no. So the woman, she gets suspicious. So went back home right away, and she found Muhammad in the top of the slave. So Muhammad, he swear by Allah, I will never do it again. And then Muhammad, after he missed this woman, she is blonde, she is very beautiful according to the Muslim interpretation, translation, and explanation. So he could not, keep the promise. So he told him, Allah told me, why you prophet ban yourself from what Allah made lawful for you? However, in the Quran, nowhere it was made lawful for Muhammad to have sex from a slave which is not captured. The Quran speak about capture slave, not just a slave. Muhammad was having sex with just a slave. This woman, she was not captured. She was given to him as a gift. You can read the interpretation about it and you will see what happened. It was about Mary the Copt.
I think I will, because I've read some other hadiths as well recently. So yeah. Okay.
So what do you think, Aminah, about your prophet now?
Well, I don't think he was perfect per se. I think it's kind of hard to say that. After, if I'm being completely honest, it's hard to say that he is perfect. It's hard to say that it's an example that I would like to follow, or that I would like my future family to follow, or my current one. But like the some of the things, not all of it, just some of the things, like the lying, or I don't think anyone will have a sex slave in this day and age. It's very, you can't do that.
But Aminah, look, everything about this man is wrong. I mean, name one thing. You said, yeah, thank you. Everything about him is wrong. So why you want to see yourself a Muslim?
I was like, yeah, I can't. On top of my head right now, everything that I know about him, all I know that he was the perfect example for mankind, and he was obviously the seal of the prophets.
But is he? Was it true or a lie? What perfect example for mankind?
Well, I don't think he is. If I'm being completely honest, I don't. I'm starting to doubt, and some of my doubts have been confirmed, especially with the female circumcision bit, just because I know that there are so many people in my parts of the world, and so many other parts of the world do suffer from that. And I think it's such a heinous thing to do to somebody, especially a woman, any human really, but as a woman myself, I can only identify with those people because I don't know what men feel like. So I would say that I know about Aisha. I've known about Aisha for a very long time. It's not something I would, if I had a daughter, or I wouldn't give her up for marriage to anybody, let alone somebody who's in their 50s. So I can only say that he isn't perfect.
But
And
this,
I
but,
don't
but this is
know.
not about perfect. You just said he is not an example to follow.
No, I no.
No, what?
No, I don't think he is an example that we
Exactly.
should.
So he cannot be a prophet because, you know,
I don't know about back then. Maybe it was worse back then, so maybe they needed someone like him.
Amina,
But I don't think.
do you think that today we don't have people are way better than Muhammad? Are you saying? I mean, this guy I mean, is doomed. Everything wrong about. He went to his own son wife when the husband is not there, and he flirted with her.
Yeah,
So what kind of? I mean, what do you think? What do you think? And be honest with me. If your father-in-law come
yeah,
to your house and he flirt when your husband is not home, what do you think about the father-in-law? What kind of man he is?
yeah. Quite perverted.
What if it's about he is even a friend of your husband? I mean, what kind
Yeah,
of a
that
man he would do that? You see, people who do that is people who have zero honor. Because I
yeah.
honor my friendship, I honor the house, I honor the man I know. Shame on me to go to the house of him when he is not there, and then I flirt with the women, and then I make a verse saying, God told me that this woman is mine.
Hmm.
Especially after he announced that this man is my son. From now, he said, Muhammad, Zayd, the son of Muhammad, and Muhammad is the father of Zayd. He is from me, and I am from him, Muhammad said.
Mm.
How after that, he go and flirt with the wife when the husband is not there.
Yeah, that's really quite bad.
So Muhammad is not about being perfect. Nobody is perfect. Only God is perfect. There's nobody is perfect. We're not
Yeah.
talking about perfection because perfection only, I mean, all of us, we are sinners. So,
Hmm.
but to speak about Muhammad, the Muslim, they worship Muhammad. They made him above everything. He is the most amazing. They are talking about him, how white he is, how white his cheek, how white his underarm, how white his, his anus, how good he is in bed. I mean, but the qualification of the Prophet in Islam is very weird.
Yeah. Yeah. That I mean, those things that you just said do sound quite like interestingly odd, and it's not really necessarily the things that I think we need in a person to follow. Like, I don't care about
Which one is
whiteness,
more
or
important, sex or prayer?
well, I would think prayer is more important.
Which one?
Prayer, obviously.
Well, isn't it your Prophet? He says intercourse with a wife is better than 70 prayer.
Did he really say that?
Yeah.
Well, sounds like sounds like I don't know. I don't know.
Let
I
us
mean, I've
say.
had my doubt. I've been having my doubts. I
Let me
just
show you how Islamic website. I see when I was a kid, we don't have internet. At that time there's no internet. So I read and I learn and I go to the library. I spend my day. It took me actually some time. Like there's a big library. There's many library, but there's one of them was the biggest, and you have all the books you can imagine. So I used to almost walk like 45 minutes, and I was a kid in the heat in the sun, because I
mm,
cannot even tell my parents I want to go there because I mean nobody will take me that far, and nobody will drop me
mm,
there. So I go walk all the way, and then I enter the library and I walk with someone as an adult, because this adult section doesn't mean it's porn. It's just for people who they are old, you know. There's a section for kids. There's Mickey Mouse magazines, you know, Tan images, pictures. But I don't like those books. I go with the adult. So I wait for somebody when I enter from the door. I walk next to him, act like I am his son, so the guard, he will think I'm coming with him. I go, and then I read any book I find on the table. And each time I read an Islamic books, I mean, I cannot believe how stupid this cult is. Do you see my screen?
Yeah.
Aminah, watch now. Aminah, watch him run now. Watch him run from me, because he's a liar.
Okay, you know, this is ultimate fraud. This guy, he don't believe in hadith, he don't believe in tafsir, he don't believe in anything. He's God by himself, he's a prophet. So read with me. And by the way, I run from you. Yeah, the guy, he keeps saying the F word to me every time he called me.
Well.
And he said to my mother too. Very filthy, very trashy. So if we translate this page, and this is Islam question and answer. I don't know why it's not working. Let's try again. Translate. I know why it's not working. Let's see again. All right, let's try here. Click in the middle. It's not working. Let me highlight. I will highlight and do. Look, I will highlight and do translation like step by step. Can you see on the screen? It says,
Yes.
Is intercourse with one's wife equivalent to 70 voluntary prayers?
what?
Oh.
Is intercourse with one's wife equivalent to 70 voluntary prayers?
The answer, yes. Like, you know, I mean, what kind of religion this religion is? If you have sex with your wife, it's better than 70 voluntarily prayer? Why?
Maybe they're just trying to highlight how important sex is, you know, with your wife, that it's good to have intimacy.
I mean, do I need to highlight? I mean, the man already is horny. He have 4 wives. So why I need to how I made the prayer equal one intercourse with the women? Allah is saying, yeah, one more, 70.
Yeah, I mean,
what kind of religion this religion is? So, I mean, this is a prophet of God. This is a sex maniac. So,
well, is that a authentic
well,
document though?
Look, it says here. Let me read for you. You can see it here. Look what it says.
According to Sahih Muslim, the man and his wife will be rewarded for intercourse. Is it true that the reward is equivalent to the reward for 70 voluntary prayers?
Oh, okay, yeah, I've heard about this one actually.
I'm just reading, you know, there. So, and then they explain that if a man, he have sex with his wife, he is rewarded by Allah. I mean, how? I mean, okay, well, man will have sex anyway. That's why he married the women. I mean, why a man will marry a woman if he have no intention to sleep with her? Like what? I mean, just to cook?
Maybe it's just to avoid the zina, you know, like the whole idea of having
No,
a wife.
you see, first of all, who said that adultery in Islam is forbidden? Where do you get this from?
Well, I've been told that it's, you know, obviously not allowed. And also I read a hadith the other day that was saying that if a married man and a woman, married woman have sex and are caught, they have to be stoned to death. So obviously,
well, this is cannot be found in the Quran. But let me show you that in Islam, fornication is allowed. But what Islam did, changed the name of the fornication. We just showed you, like it says, you can have sex with your slave, right? But not only that, even if they are married, but not only that. In Islam, it's forbidden for you to have sex with your daughter and your wife.
I hope so.
Okay. However, if you go and read the interpretation, it says in chapter 25, verse number 52, that if the daughter or the sister or the mother, a daughter from adultery, she is not forbidden for you.
Really?
Let us see. Let me show you a reference so nobody will say I'm making things up. حرمت عليكم أمهاتكم. All right, this is Al-Qurtubi. And we can show it in other, actually, not necessarily Al-Qurtubi. We can show it in other interpretation. But we will start with Al-Qurtubi here.
I think it's still loading. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just posting the link. I will post the link for you in case you want to save it, and you can use Google Translation from your side. In case
Okay.
maybe Christian Prince is lying.
Maybe.
It doesn't say that, CP. So chapter 25, verse number 54. And this is the interpretation of Al-Qurtubi, and this is the official government website of the Kingdom of Jordan. Sorry, of Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
If we go down here, it says, okay. Let us see where we need to start reading. Let me be sure this is the exact link we want. Give me a second.
Yeah, that's fine. Take your time.
All right.
Yep.
ندخل تحت قوله I'm just trying to find the part where it mentioned that. Okay.
Have you ever seen anybody be executed in Islam for in your where you were from in the Middle East for leaving Islam? Have you ever seen that? Because I know that.
I did not witness by eye, but I know many people who get killed. I have one of my admins was killed from Saudi Arabia.
For leaving Islam?
Yeah, he was an admin in my chat room, and then later they found out his name, his address, and he was executed. He used to be called
like as in lawfully, like the government killed him or his family?
Yes, no, the government. Yeah, his name, you can search his name, Saudi Christian. This is the name he used.
It's quite disturbing.
Yeah, actually, they brought him to the chat room. They opened a big chat room, and they brought him to condemn everything he said. And you can tell, I mean, God knows what they did to him. And then he was executed. Because you cannot repent for insulting Muhammad, but he can repent for insulting Allah. And he insulted Muhammad a lot of time. Here, let us see. This is, Let me post the link here for you. This is the correct link. And I will use Google Translation. You remind me of this good man. Yeah, well, he is a martyr for the Lord. Here it says,
Yeah.
وَجَعَلْنَاهُ نَسَبًا وَصَهْرًا. And this is the verse, and this is the interpretation. And I will use the translator. Google Translation.
Okay.
Ibn al-Arabi said, lineage means the mixing of water between male and female according to Islamic law. If it is due to sin, it is an absolute creation and not a confirmed lineage, and therefore it is not included under his saying, your mothers and your daughters have forbidden to you his daughter due to adultery. Because she is not his daughter, according to the more correct of the two opinions according to our scholars and the more correct of the two opinions in religion. If there is no lineage according to Islamic law, then there is no marriage according to Islamic law, then adultery is not forbidden between a mother's daughter or a mother's daughter, and what is forbidden from what is permissible is not forbidden from what is forbidden. Because God has been gracious to his servants through lineage and marriage, and has raised their status, and has imposed the rulings regarding permissibility and prohibition on them, so that falsehood does not attach to them or equal to them.
So it's not forbidden to have sex with the mother and the daughter, because according to Islam, she is not your daughter, because she is a daughter from adultery. Did you get the point?
Yeah,
So a Muslim man, he can have sex with his daughter as long as she is not a daughter from marriage. Not only that, if you read underneath here, it says, and the scholars, they disagree about a man having sex with his daughter from adultery or his sister or the daughter of his son. Some, they forbid it, and this is the statement of Abu Hanifa and his friends, and some, they allow it, and this is the statement of Abdul Malik ibn al-Mashun, and this is the statement of Ash-Shafi'i, etc. So here you notice, imagine that the Muslims, they are like, can we have sex with our daughter and our sister and the daughter of my brother if she is a daughter from adultery? Can we?
The jurists differed as to whether a man should marry his daughter from adultery, or his sister, or his son's daughter from adultery. Some people forbade that, including Ibn al-Qasim, and this is the opinion of Abu Hanifa and his companions, and others permitted it, including Abd al-Malik ibn al-Majin.
Do you see it?
yeah.
This is Islam.
Oh.
Do we need even to think about it, that if we can have sex with our daughter? So so now if a Muslim have sex with a woman, she gave birth to a daughter, he can have sex with a daughter.
That's yeah, well, that's
So what do you think, Aminah? You want to stay as a Muslim?
I don't, if being a Muslim means I condone or support some of the things we discussed today, then that's not the Islam that I want to follow. That's not the Islam that I think is good for society.
Exactly. So you are out of Islam. We are happy for you, Aminah.
Well, I think I just need to process what we discussed today, because it's a lot, and I believe it to be true, because obviously if I didn't believe you to be truthful, I wouldn't have wanted to speak with you.
But I never saw you anything without what in the screen,
No,
right?
no. I you haven't, and that's why I said I wanted to speak with you, because I don't believe you've ever shown us anything that is false, because we can verify it ourselves. But it's just I want to know the truth. I don't really care about certain things. I just want to know the truth. As long as I know the truth, then I am like, I'm okay. Like, I don't care what the truth is. I just want to know. Okay, I can see Muhammad married a 6-year-old girl, sorry, got engaged to her, didn't marry her, married her at 9 years old.
No,
That's
no, no,
okay.
no, 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 no. That's not true. He married her at the age of 5, actually, not 6. 6 in the Islamic calendar is 5 in our calendar. This is number one. Number two, she was sent to his house when she was 6, not when she was 9. In fact, the mother of Aisha, she had to force Aisha to eat a cucumber and date so she can get fatter so she can be sent to Muhammad because she is so small. If we go in the hadith here, you will see the following. Let me find you the hadith. Here we go. And this is Sahih. Can you read it?
Yeah. You want me to read it out loud?
Yeah?
My mother was trying to fatten me up when she wanted to send me to the Messenger of Allah. When she got married, but nothing worked until I ate cucumbers with dates. Then I grew plum like the beast kind of plum. Oh, the best kind of plum. Sorry, I've got my contacts, not my glasses on today. The best kind of plum. The best kind of plum.
So, is she, is she, I mean, are we talking about a chicken? Are we talking about a sheep to be sent to the butcher? So what was the problem? To send her to Muhammad. Her body is so small. Correct?
I don't know how you can have sex with a small child.
Well, no,
It's
there is, but you never heard of pedophiles? There's pedophile everywhere, even like, in we as a Christian, we witness there's some priests, they are like Muhammad, and they will go to jail, and mostly they will be killed there. So there's pervert people. Pervert. They use religion to, to take advantage of people, and Muhammad is one of them.
But if he was a pedophile, it would have meant that he would have married other children too, but he didn't. He only married
We know
one child.
what we know is what Muslim they wrote for us, and what we know that Muhammad obviously is a pedophile, isn't it? Him, he says to Fatima, if she grow up, when she grow up, I will marry her. Grow up what? She will become 5. What about the story? What the story of Jabir? Jabir, he got married from a woman,
Yeah.
and Muhammad he told him, "Hey Jabir, why you are in a rush to go home?" He said, well, I am newly married, and obviously the guy is happy. He is not complaining. He did not say anything. So Muhammad he said to him, "Why you marry a widow? Why you do that? Why you don't marry a child so she can sport with you, and you can sport with her?" So
I've heard about this one, but it was presented to us in a positive light. I believe it was Sheikh Suleiman that was talking about it, but he had a positive spin on it, and he said, the Prophet said it's okay to marry a widow, but it's better for you to marry somebody who's young so you can grow up and play together. That's what it was spin
okay,
as.
hold on. The guy, first of all, is already married. He's not complaining. Muhammad saying to him, why you don't marry a child so she can play with you? What is the reason? To play. You play with her and she play with you. You see, the man here, he is not complaining. He did not say, Muhammad, I marry a woman, she is. No. So Abdullah died and he left behind him 9 or 7 daughters. I married a woman whom had previously married. Allah Messenger said to me, Jabir, have you married? I said, yes. He said, a virgin or a previously married? He said, previously married. Whereupon he says, why you don't marry a child, not a young girl? So that you could sport with her and she could sport with you. So what is the reason for this advice? Sport. And you you could amuse with her, and she could amuse with you. Pedophile. This is what the pedophile think about. Pedophile, they are amused with the children's. And because it's easy to amuse the children, you give them candies, they like it. They cry, they stop crying. Give them some cake, candy, Barbie, you know. I said to him, and now he's saying to him why he did not marry a child. He said, Abdullah, he fell murder in Uhud, and he left 9 or 7 daughters behind him. Therefore, I did not approve the idea that I should bring a girl like them. Do you see it?
Yeah.
But I preferred a woman who should look after them. So what Muhammad is asking the man to do? To marry a girl like them. Who are they, those them? The orphans. But the man is more wise than Muhammad. He is not pervert. So he said, I prefer to bring a woman to look after them.
Can I ask you something, CP?
Go ahead.
If I believe, okay, I'm not doubting what we've discussed today. It's just a lot to process. But if this is all true, and then why there's so many Muslims, you know? Like,
Because most of Muslims are ignorant.
Just,
Most of Muslims are ignorant. They don't know what we're talking about. I mean, the guy, he was here. You heard him? He said, you know, why you are asking this culture? You know, they don't know. You know, they don't know their head from their feet. So this guy, he is so upset because you are talking to me. He hate me, but he don't want to listen and see if I'm saying the truth or not. And you know, the other thing is, anything you show Muslim right away, they say da'if. So Islam is da'if. That is other reason to believe Islam is false. They keep saying to us, Islam preserved. Islam preserved, the word of Allah preserved, but the word of Allah is the word of Muhammad too. Because Muslims, they receive the word of Muhammad, by that they receive the word of Allah, not the opposite. Allah never spoke to them. So if Islam is full of da'if, what so-called corrupt hadith, then how they keep lying to everybody saying Islam is a preserved, Qur'an is a preserved? That you are not, because Qur'an itself is a hadith. What I notice about Muslims, that the majority of them, they don't know, and the one who knew, he gets scared to say I know. Who dare? Who dare to say I know that Muhammad is a pimp, I know that Muhammad is a fraud, I know that Muhammad is a child molester? You yourself, you can't say what you are saying because you don't live in Saudi Arabia. Or you live in Iraq. If you live in Iraq, you will be dead in 2 minutes.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And Islam is peace. Remember, Islam is a peaceful religion.
Well, yeah, that's what we say. You know, Islam is peace. Although I do understand that it does mean submission. And I didn't grow up with the idea that Islam was peace until I came to the UK. So, I don't know. So I don't know. Thanks for helping and answering some of the questions.
Well, I'm happy that you agree with me that Muhammad obviously is a fraud. And I invite you in front of everybody to accept the Lord, the Messiah. When we speak about perfection, you look at the Messiah, not at me, not at someone like Muhammad.
I've been reading a lot about Christianity, and my doubts, and my questions arose from the fact that this is maybe presumptuous to say, and maybe a bit too forward to say, but I had a dream, and that's what sparked my questioning. Aside from that, I don't think I would have ever moved from a position where I was. I think I would have lived my entire life not questioning anything. So it sparked me to read, but then I've been conflicted. So personally, it's easier for me to stay as a Muslim because my whole community is Muslim. And, so I won't have to change anything. I won't, so for me, that's but I have read, like the Old Testament and parts of the New Testament, and from what I see, it's lovely is an understatement. Profound is probably the closest thing that I could say. It's certainly different to the Quran in terms of the way it reads. It's certainly the messagings are aside from the Old Testament, the New Testament is very, very beautiful, if I can use that word, to say, like, it has some really lovely messagings, and that I think, oh wow, I don't know who this guy is. I don't know who wrote this, but there's some truth in it. There's some harsh truths too. But I've accepted the Quran for so long, and that I've chosen to live my life like that for so long. It's hard for me to make a detour and declare something that is other than what I was brought up into. And I get the message of Christ. I get it. It hits me quite deeply. Maybe that's why I feel the need to ask questions from people outside of my faith and outside of my community, because I need to hear a different voice.
Well, Amina, you heard the voice of Jesus then, if you saw a dream, not my voice. So
No.
wouldn't you answer Christ if he called you in a dream? What are you waiting for? I mean, now you know Muhammad is false. Now you are convinced he is not the one to follow. Now we have all the proofs we needed to know. And you agree that the Messiah is amazing. And even the Old Testament, by the way, you see, the Old Testament is a book of history, not only a book of God. And because you are reading about history, and history of man is ugly. It's not the history of God is ugly. The history of the man is ugly. So the Old Testament is a book of history of the man with God. And history always ugly. But it's not the Old Testament, it's ugly. It is the man. The man who did all kind of sin, all kind of filth. So God never changed. God is always beautiful. Man is always bad. And if we are not bad and we need the good God to save us, then why even the Messiah will come to us? This is why we call him the Savior. Because we need to be saved, not because we are saved. If we are saved, he will not come. There is no need. And God will not send a prophet. He will not send books. We will not teach. We will not do anything. We are saved. But this is not the scenario. We are people who commit sin, and we should not follow a bad person like Muhammad, for that will make us more deep in sin. Muhammad justified killing just for his agenda. Muhammad justified rape, child molestation, pedophile, lying, fornication. He gave a different name. So now fornication become muta, prostitution become muta. But we know that you pay a woman money to have sex with her. This cannot be called marriage. So Muhammad is satanic. He just gave different name for the same crime Satan he wanted us to do, in order to manipulate the truth and make the evil look good and the good look evil. When Muhammad complained, they said to him, shall we do what the same as the Christian do? They don't get married like the monk. He said, no, my religion is the religion of effing. This is what Muhammad is, sunnatin nikah. The Muslim, I don't know if you heard the Muslim arguing that Christian prince is lying, because a Christian prince, he said the word nikah mean to if. Do you think I'm lying when I say that?
I am skeptical about that, because I've heard you say it, but I find that hard to believe more than I don't believe you. I think it's just not that I'm saying you're lying, and it's not because I'm afraid of insulting you. It's just more so I find that hard to believe that that's what nikah means, because it's meant to be so beautiful. When your friend gets her nikah done, it's like, oh, that's so amazing, my best friend.
My sister, if you use a male name, go to chat room and say, hey guys, I want to do nikah, they will bounce you right away. If the word nikah, once I have a guy, he argued with me. He said, you are lying. He don't speak Arabic. So I said, okay, go to the Arabic section in Paltalk. Type in the chat, Assalamu alaikum, I'm here to do nikah. If the word nikah means marriage, they should not be angry. Correct?
Yeah.
I want to get married. Nobody should get angry. So what? You want to get married? He did say anything wrong? Right away they start saying the F word to him. They bounce him. He came to me. He says, you are right. I don't know that. This is the word. Let me show you. Your prophet, he said, when your wife, let us see here. Do you know how the word nikah written in Arabic?
No, I don't know how to write Arabic, but I do know
Well,
how
this
to
is
write
the
it.
word. This is the word nikah. Here we go. I will highlight it for you on the screen. You see it?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Here it says, this is the Muslim translation. The Jews used not to eat with women during her menstruation period. The Jews, they stay away from their women when they have menstruation, so they will not bother them. He said, do everything with them except nikah. What the translation for nikah here?
Sexual intercourse.
Exactly. So how nikah is getting married, and here it is sexual intercourse. You see? Here it says if'alu. Huh?
Yeah.
If you read here,
Could it have like a dual meaning? Like one word could mean different things?
it could, but nikah always mean physical intercourse, not marriage. The word marriage, you see, nikah, as all Arabic words have many meaning, but always have one meaning. It is two things getting inside each other. So they say, tanakahatul ashjar, but the trees doing nikah. But does that mean they are doing sex? No. The branches of the trees, like there's two trees next to each other, and the wind is shaking them, so there's nikah. A branch from this tree is going through other branches in that tree. That is nikah. So yes, the word nikah have many meaning, but the word nikah, when you use it for a female, it is about
Right.
having intercourse. That's why Muhammad says, do everything except nikah. So if nikah mean this, okay. So if nikah, it's possible. Let us say, for the sake of argument, nikah used as two meaning: marriage and intercourse. But in Arabic, we have the word marriage. Why want to use nikah? As long we know it means intercourse, why I want to use? Imagine I go to a man, I say to him, I want to do nikah to your daughter. Nobody will use it. They say, أريد أن أتزوج. I want to marry. Nobody use the word nikah because nikah is a filthy word.
Right. That's quite interesting.
As an example, when there's a verse in the Qur'an, if a Muslim woman, her husband divorced her 3 times,
Yeah.
what she should do?
Yeah, she needs to, get married to another person. I've seen it happen.
All right. So imagine now, we have a woman, she got divorced, and now this woman, she can't get back to her husband unless she do nikah to the husband. He's husband, but what she need to do? Nikah. So look what the Quran says. If he divorce her, she will not be lawful for him until she do tankah zawjan, until she do nikah to the new husband, not marry his husband now, his husband, Like if the word nikah mean marriage, so we do not need to say the word zawj. Zawj mean husband. So tankah is the verb of saying doing it, intercourse, to a new husband. To prove this, as usual, we don't say things without proof. If you go in the hadith right now, you can do that yourself. You can go to sahihsunnah.com and type the word in English, greener. Greener. It's about a woman, her husband did beat her.
Oh, yeah.
Why he did beat her? This woman, she was divorced by her husband. She said to herself, okay, the Prophet, he said, I cannot go back to my husband unless I marry a new husband. So she did marry a new husband, but she didn't want to sleep with him. So the man, he did beat her. What Muhammad, he said to her, you should know that you cannot go back to your previous husband unless you do nikah until he tastes your orgasm. You see the translation, you know, it is, you know, it's not lawful for you. Then you know that it's not unlawful for you to remarry Rifa unless you, Abdul Rahman, had sexual intercourse with you. What is the word here? Nikah. حتى تنكح زوجا غيره, until she do boom boom with a new husband. So this woman, she thought she will marry the guy, she will make him hate her, he will, you know, he get, you know, get upset, he divorce her, but he's not doing that. He's beating her, and he want to force her to bed. She came to Muhammad asking him to be lawful. Look, he did beat me. He made my skin greener. Aisha, she said. Muhammad, he said to her, oh, you know what? You have the right to beat you because you cannot get back. If this is what your intention is, you cannot get back unless this guy do boom boom to you. And here you ask yourself, what kind of a stupid religion? Forcing a woman. Here the woman, she is not, it's not her fault. It's not her who divorced the husband 3 times, correct?
No.
What about we say to the husband, you know what? You cannot go back to your previous wife unless a man do boom boom to you. So he will behave. So now what we do, we force the poor woman to go and sleep with a stranger. And obviously this guy is way older. She thought he is old. He will not be able to do it. So she married him, hoping he would divorce her maybe 2 days after. And then she can go back to her. I'm sure she don't care for the husband. She care for the babies. She have children. So she want to go back to husband. And look at the stupid, demonic, satanic rules. You cannot get back unless you sleep with this guy.
Yeah, the thing is, I've seen this happen too, like, you know, it's quite weird.
Yeah, and the Muslim they practice that in England, right?
Yeah. I mean, you know, yeah.
Is that an honorable thing? Is that how we honor religion and God? Isn't it, this is nothing but a fornication? What is this? What marriage in Islam? There's no marriage. It's a sex contract. He fire you. He hire you. He fire you by a text message. Come here. Go there. Muhammad said, if a woman she refused to share the bed with her husband, the angels and Allah will curse her all night.
Yeah.
What if the man he refused to share the bed with his wife? Nobody curse him. Yeah. As an example, if you go in the Qur'an, you know, the chapter 4, speaking about beating women, chapter 4, verse number 34. And the word there is the reason to beat them is nushul. So what is the reason to beat them? Nushudahun. What is nushudahun? If you feel they are not too much obedience, they are not toys, sex toys, you say to her, make a tea. She don't go right away to the kitchen to do it. But look, the hypocrite Muhammad. If the man he did this, do you see my screen?
Yeah, I do.
It is exactly the same word. Muhammad, he did nushuz with his wife, Sauda. And this verse about him and his wife. Look here how the rule change. If a woman she fear that her husband he have nushuz, what do? Fix between them, you know, fix between them. And then how they fix? Aisha, she made agreement with Sauda. She told her, if you give me your day, I will ask the Prophet not to divorce you. And you can stay in your house and eat the food you eat every day. Look at the demon. So now, if the women she do nushuz, we beat them. If Muhammad don't choose, we force the wife to come to an agreement to satisfy Aisha needs to sleep with him more.
Oh, Aisha.
Aisha, she is not interested, by the way, in sleeping with Muhammad. She is interested to receive more gifts. You know, Muhammad, when Aisha, because she is controlling Muhammad, even though she is a kid, but obviously she is evil. So the daughter, the wives of Muhammad, they ask Muhammad to be fair. Why? Because simply all the gifts, they come to Aisha house only. No gift can come to the houses of the wives. So the wives of Muhammad, they ask Muhammad to be fair. Be fair and let us all receive gifts. Aisha, she forbade any family, any Arab person, any Muslim to give gifts unless Muhammad is in her house. This is why she is asking for a day of Sauda exchange, and she said, if you let him, if I convince the Prophet to let you stay as his wife, Sauda, she become old. According to the hadith, she become fat and slow. The Prophet, he don't like to sleep with her because she don't look good no more. And now she heard the news that he is going to divorce her. So Aisha, she told her, listen, and this verse came in the Quran about that. Imagine, God, he involved with the women, she is gaining weight. This is how important Muhammad is to Allah. He go to his office and he decide to say, okay, you know what, there's an agreement, a new agreement. About what? About Muhammad. You can, by the way, you can open any Islamic interpretation and you will see this is about Sauda, the wife of Muhammad, who becomes so old. And this is what this verse is about. So Muhammad was not fair. Muhammad was an evil man. Why Muhammad want to divorce a woman? You said to me, maybe the Prophet was marrying a woman because he want to protect them. Okay, this woman now is old. She spent many years with him, and now he want to dump her.
That's quite sad.
And Aisha, she convinced her, you know, listen, if you want, instead of him divorcing you, I can tell the Prophet that you decide to give me your day, and I will convince him to keep you. And that's what happened. So imagine what kind of a prophet he is.
Yeah, it's definitely destroyed some of my worldviews about. I mean, like I said, I've watched some of your videos over time, and there's some truth. There's a lot of truth, I should say. But yeah, this conversation has I guess confirmed some of my doubts that I've had, and answered some of the questions that I've had. And it's saddening to see because it's something that I put my life into, and I've tried to live up to it, but it's yeah, it's a little bit sad.
You see the reference I'm showing you on the screen? This is the tafsir. I will pause the tafsir for you, Ibn Kathir. And I think Ibn Kathir you can find in English. As you see, Muhammad, the evil man, he want to throw a woman, she is old, in the street. And the evil Aisha, she convinced him, and she forced her to say that if she
For this
give her
reason,
day.
when Sa'd bin Zama grew up, the messenger of God, may God bless him and grant him peace, decided to separate from her, so she made an agreement with him that he would keep her and leave her day to Aisha, but he accepted that from her and kept her in that position. The narration stated that, Abu Dawud al-Tayalisi said, Sulaiman bin Muad told us, on the authority of Samit bin Harb, on the authority of Ikrimah, on the authority of Ibn Abbas, who said, Sauda was afraid that the Messenger of God, may God bless him and grant him peace, would divorce her, so she said, O Messenger of God, do not divorce me and make my day for Aisha. So he did.
See?
Yeah.
Is that how a man, he take care of his wife? She spent many years with him, serving him. Now she is old. You see the translation here says, Sauda grow up. This is not what really, it says getting old. Sauda, she got old, you know. So now, Muhammad, he have no intention. I mean, why I want to sleep with a woman? She is old. And he have all those young women around, you know. He accepted her as a wife when he was not yet in charge. He was not a king. He was not the prophet who have an army. He was just, you know, a guy. He need a woman for now. So they told him, okay, take Sauda. He took Sauda. And then right away he took Aisha. And then things start changing. You know? Yeah. This is an evil man. He's an evil man, you know. And what kind of God? He make a verse about this. What is this? You know, what kind of God? This is not about God, you know. You see, Aisha, she said.
But wouldn't you? Can I just say, like, wouldn't you say the same for, you know, Prophet Ibrahim, like referred to as Abraham in the Bible when he slept with his servant Hagar?
Look, he married her. He married her, and it's not God who told him. Same time,
No.
Abraham, he did not marry because he is pervert, but he gave up his wife. She is so old. He is so old, and he don't have children. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here, I'm not giving excuse to Abraham, but you know, the guy, he live in the desert in the middle of nowhere, and he have nobody, you know. So I'm getting old. My wife is getting old, and who in the world would have believed that a woman in her age is going to have kids? It's impossible. So he decide to marry the slave, but he did not marry the slave for sex purpose. It was not his intention. His wife, he spent his life with his wife. Yet his wife, she did not give it children. And now he is very, very old. So what I will do? And he, you know, I mean, men, they knew already that women in certain age, that's it. They have no period. They cannot have babies. It's not a secret. So what I will do? So Abraham, he did not get permission from God. You see, if I do something in the Old Testament or in the New Testament, as an example, the daughter of Lot, the Muslim, they say to you, do you know that the daughter of Lot in the Old Testament, they have sex with their parents, with their father?
Yeah.
But this is a story reporting what they did, not approving what they do. They don't have men. There's no men around. And those women, who is going to protect us? Who is going to be? I'm not justifying what they did. We are just telling what happened. You can read the verses. The Muslim, they say, look, look, the Bible discussed it. Ahmad did that. You know, Lot, Prophet Lot, his wife, she. But if you go in the Quran, just to show you the hypocrisy, we showed you first that you can have sex with your daughter if she is a daughter from adultery, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, but if you go in the Quran, we will find that according to the Quran, the wives of Lot and the wife of Noah, she was a whore.
What?
She was sleeping around. Yeah. They cheated in their husbands.
I thought they got destroyed because she looked back.
Well, they can say whatever they want, but the Quran is saying something so clear. The word khan, if I look back, this is not cheating. It says here, they betray. In Arabic, khan is not only betray, we know what betray is like in a wife, she's a cheating.
Yeah.
So we have Lot and Noah and their wives, they cheat on them. They betray their husbands.
Yeah, I see.
The Muslim, they say between two brackets, husbands, they cheat their husband by rejecting their doctrine. And here you find the story is very funny. If Noah's wife, she refused the doctrine of Noah. Where Muhammad he got this story from, and where the story of Lut, his wife, she betrayed him. There's no source. This is what it says. That's all. There's no details. There's nothing. You know, they just betrayed him. And this, by the way, prove other stupid things about the Quran, because the Quran says in different verse that bad women, filthy women, cheater women, for cheater men. You will see, and this will prove that Muhammad again is a fraud. If I say that bad women will marry bad men and bad men will marry bad women, so how the wives of the two prophets, because those two prophets in Islam, right? Here the story, the Quran confirmed destiny. Allah, he made destiny that bad women, look at the first translation by the statement. Women became a statement. A translation of who? Yari Khan? Let's change it. Unbelievable. Women, they became a statement, guys. I mean, this is really madness. You know, this is why if you don't know Arabic, they can fool you. Look, I just changed the translator. Who is this guy now? Muhammad Arbari. Hilali Khan, he made the women statement.
Wow.
This guy corrupt women for corrupt men for corrupt women, good women for good men, and good men for good women. And this is the destiny of Allah. Okay, so the destiny of Allah is bad women will marry bad women. Okay, let's go to the other verse in the Quran. So how Lut is a prophet and Noah is a prophet and their wives are bad? And
they're good. They're good men. Okay.
Yeah, and who is in the world going to believe that corrupt women, they marry only corrupt men? How many good men, their wives are bad? And on the opposite, how many good women, their husband is a cheater like Muhammad? So this is a false statement. Again, Muhammad, he failed.
Yeah.
So Sister Aminah, do you accept the Messiah as your savior?
From what I've read, comparing the two kind of texts, the Quran and, you know, like Muhammad and Jesus, if I was given the chance to freely explore it and to believe in it, live it, I would say I'd like to go with Christ, because I've read the Quran. I've read it and I've listened to it, but it's never touched my heart. Maybe because it's incoherent in some ways, but reading the Bible in the short span of time that I've got to read it has touched my heart and made me cry so many times, and I don't know why. So I think there's some truth to it, and maybe I'd like to explore what Christ has and what he's about. But I'm afraid that I'm gonna find that somewhere down the line it's just as false, sorry. And I'm scared of that. I'm scared that I'm gonna find out, just as I've found out and doubted, that I'm gonna find out somewhere down the line that it's false, and I don't know what to do with that, you know? So I'd like to take my time, because I don't know. I'm scared that it's going to be false. I'm scared that I'm going to get the wrong.
I'm happy for you that you know Islam is false, and now you are afraid Christianity might be the same. But I say to you,
I think from what I know of Islam, from talking to you today, but also from reading independently and reading the Quran objectively with a critical eye, and also from reading the Bible and not destroying, but like figuring out some of the things I was taught about the Bible weren't specifically true, or about Christianity weren't true, and that it's so coherent to read. I think in that way, then yes, Islam, the Qur'an and Prophet Muhammad aren't as honorable as I once thought. Yes.
Absolutely, they are false. There is no honor in Muhammad, neither his God. Because obviously, even Aisha, she said, Inni ara rabbuka yusari'u ila hawaka ya Muhammad. I see that your prophet, your God, Allah, Muhammad, Aisha, she said, he rushed into your desire. Aisha, she is not a fool. And she noticed that Allah is not God. He is just, a toy. Muhammad he used to justify his desires, including money desire, sexual desire, and all kind of filthy stuff. Muhammad he is living. When Aisha she said, and she noticed that your God here rush into your desire. If Aisha she is the most close person to Muhammad, who knows Muhammad more than Aisha then? The Muslim they say nobody knows the Prophet as Aisha. Inni ara rabbuka yusari'u ila hawaka ya Muhammad. Here you see the word hawak is not just desire. Hawa is lust. So it seems to me that your Lord, what he do? He jump to satisfy your sexual need. Women, they are offering themselves to the messenger. Why? Because Muhammad in the Quran, he made a verse. Any believing woman, she offer herself to the Prophet so he can F her. Aisha now she noticed that the God, he make verses for the penis of Muhammad. Specific verses. And this is telling you that Aisha, she was not, at least in this point now, she is out of Islam. She noticed. We will find that Aisha in different place, she said to Muhammad, you who claim to be the messenger of Allah, you claim, Aisha, she said. And then Abu Bakr, he did beat Aisha for saying that. So Aisha, she knew. Aminah, today you knew Muhammad is a fraud. And I hope you will call me soon and you will accept the Messiah as your savior, and I will be happy to explain to you more.
Yeah, I feel like I've taken a lot of your time, and it is almost 1 a.m.
No, you see, the only reason I don't come online if I lose my voice. Honest to God.
Fair.
If I get tired, my voice, I can't speak no more. So okay, what I can do? I mean, I have limitation of how many hours I can speak. Otherwise, I will be happy to serve people, to make them see the truth, and the truth will set them free. And I pray that God will send me every day many Aminah like you, so we can invite them to Jesus, and they can have a beautiful life, a life of dignity. You marry a husband who will love you, he adore you, he do not need to lie to you, and you do not need to lie to him. He will not look to any other women. For God, he made it clear that the man will be with his wife together as one. The man, he leave his parents, the Bible says, and become with his wife as one. As one. They are not two no more. So in Christianity, we have a real marriage. In Islam, they have 6 contracts. And there is a huge difference between a partner of lifetime and an employee. In Islam, you are an employee. And this employee can be fired by the boss, which is the man. In Christianity, you are a partner. And your partnership is not only with the man, but with God himself. For marriage is a blessed in Christianity by God himself. The unity is coming from God, not from the man and the women. And we know that when God created Adam, he created for him one Eve. That God made a mistake, and this is the first man. He can create 7 women for him. He can create 100. But it was enough for Adam. It was enough for Eve. So why it cannot be enough for me? Am I an animal? Am I a wolf? I am a monkey, maybe jumping from female to female. Ah, you remind me, by the way.
Mm.
Do you have a do you have a zoo in UK?
Of course, yeah, quite.
Okay, I want you to
Yeah.
go and visit some Muslims there.
What?
Some Muslims, because according to the Muhammad, monkeys are Muslims. Read for me the hadith before you go.
Okay. During the pre-Islamic period of ignorance, I saw a she monkey surrounded by a number of monkeys. They were all stoning it because it had committed illegal sexual intercourse. I too stoned it along with them.
So I want you to go to the zoo and have a sign in your hand says, "Death to the female monkey who cheated her husband." You know, she is a bad Muslim female monkey.
Yeah, I think that one way to find
this is a religion of
myself.
God. I mean, what is this? I mean, monkey committed it. So now the monkeys are Muslims and they are practicing the stoning to death and the laws of Moses and Sharia law. What the heck is that? I mean, monkeys, they have sex with their mommy and their daddy and their children. What is this? She have illegal? Are you sure?
Well, I guess we got to tell the zookeepers to, you know, to arrest the monkeys.
And you know, since then, I promised I will never marry a monkey. I cannot trust them no more, you know.
Yeah. I don't think you could either. It's called bestiality. I think that's illegal, you know.
Unbelievable. I hope Darwin, he will not see this hadith. He will use it for his theory, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe, yeah, that's true. He would have used it.
He will put it in his book. He will say,
to support his argument.
yeah, we have a proof. And by the way, your prophet, he is a Darwinist. Do you know that?
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, with this text over here,
No.
down.
In the Quran, it says Allah, he cursed the Jews and he made them pigs and monkeys. You know that?
Oh,
Yeah, in the Quran. It's in the Quran.
I've heard you. I've heard you say it before. I have heard that.
Yeah, I mean, Muhammad is Darwinist, but the opposite direction.
The poor Jews.
Yeah, so, and why? Because it is fishing in Saturday. I mean, the story alone is so funny and so stupid. Allah, he forbid the fish from coming on Saturday, and he command them to not to work in Saturday. And then, brother and sisters, because they did break the command of Allah, Allah made them pigs and monkeys. So, and here, if Allah is the one who made the fish don't come in Saturday, and they are living in an island, how in the world he can judge them for that? If you read the story, you will die laughing. But here, you will notice, God, he make the Jews pigs and monkeys for fishing in Saturday. But Jews in Israel now, every year they have a festival for homosexual. So,
What?
yeah, they have festival for gays, like the same as many places. So, why Allah, he want to curse them and make them pigs and monkeys for fishing in Saturday, but he will not make them pigs and monkeys for doing a big festival for homosexual? Which one is more? Which one is bad for Allah? I mean, you see how the story is so stupid and so silly. So why Allah don't make the one who rape a woman a monkey, a pig?
Yeah.
So for fishing in Saturday, we make them pigs and monkeys, but the one who rape a child, we don't. The one who murder, the one who kidnap, the one. I mean, we have tons of list of ugly crimes a human being he does. So fishing in Saturday is a problem now, and we make them pigs and monkeys.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, this is Muhammad, what you can say. Thank you, sister, for being here. God bless you.
Yeah, thanks, Christian Prince. I have wanted to ask you, even though these questions may seem quite menial, but they are questions that I've had, and I felt it important. So thank you for picking up the ball.
No problem.
It was quite a long one.
Stay in the chat if you can, because we have a Muslim. He is trying. Want to talk to me? Maybe they can bring you to Islam.
Well, yeah, I mean, I live in it, so
yeah, because we have Salima, Hafsa, and we have Gambling Ghost. I don't know if he's a Muslim, so they might be able to convince you again that Islam is good. So stay and let us hear them.
Yeah, I am gonna go to bed though. But
All right.
no,
Before you
I
go to
watched
bed,
it.
don't forget you have to say a prayer. Either otherwise, shaitan will sleep in your nose and will piss in your ears. And
Well,
there's things I cannot say. Sorry, you're a lady.
that's all right.
All
But
right.
yeah, thanks for this, and yeah, I'll speak to you soon, hopefully.
All right. Take care, sister. God bless you.
Take care.
Read the Bible.
I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. No turning back. No turning back. The cross before me, the world behind me. The cross before